Welcome to part 2 of ASMR Bedtime Stories. I hope you're tucked in tight and ready for today's spooky bedtime story. Time to turn off the lights, grab your comfiest blanket, and let's cue the rain sounds. I had always been fascinated by the unknown, the mysterious, and the unexplored. So, when my family decided to embark on a vacation to a remote island, I knew adventure awaited. Little did I know that the island held secrets that would surpass my wildest imagination. It was a sunny afternoon when my younger sister, Lily, and I decided to venture into the wilderness surrounding our rented cabin. The dense forest called to us, promising hidden treasures and untold tales. Against our parents' warnings, we set off, enticed by the allure of the unknown. As we pushed through the undergrowth, the air grew heavy with an eerie silence. The only sound was the rustle of leaves under our feet. But then, amidst the hushed whispers of the wind, we began to hear something peculiar. Whispers. Dozens of them, faint and barely discernible. It was as if the forest itself was alive, murmuring secrets that only the trees could comprehend. Intrigued, we followed the whispers, our hearts pounding with anticipation. The voices seemed to guide us deeper into the labyrinth of trees, leading us along a faint, overgrown path that we had never noticed before. We exchanged glances, but the thrill of the unknown propelled us forward. Finally, the whispers led us to a clearing, bathed in dappled sunlight. A hush fell over us as we beheld a sight that sent shivers down our spines. Before us lay an old, makeshift graveyard. The graves were marked by simple wooden sticks fashioned into crosses, crude markers for those long departed. We stepped forward in reverence, our eyes tracing the names etched onto the small pieces of wood. Each one spoke of a life once lived, now reduced to a mere memory. But it was the last grave that held our attention, the smallest one among them all. We approached it cautiously, our breath caught in our lungs. Just as we reached the tiny marker, a twig snapped behind us, startling us both. We turned, our eyes widening in disbelief. There, standing before us, was a young woman. She was no ordinary girl, however. Her ethereal form shimmered, and her eyes held a haunting glow. It was clear to us that she was no longer among the living. We called out to her, our voices trembling. "Who are you? What happened to you?" But she only laughed and shook her head as if our desire to understand was beneath her. The action chilled us to the bone. Just as the two of us were about to run, she vanished into thin air, leaving us bewildered and alone amidst the graves. The fear holding us in place thawed, and we turned on our heels, racing back through the forest with all the speed our legs could muster. We burst into the clearing where our parents were relaxing, their faces filled with concern at our disheveled appearance. Breathless and wide-eyed, we recounted our experience, including the whispers and the apparition of the woman. Their initial skepticism melted away as they listened, replaced by a mixture of awe and unease. Was this island and its forest truly haunted? The evidence seemed to suggest so. The whispers, the graveyard, and the spectral encounter had forever changed our perception of this idyllic place. It was as if the island held a hidden history, a story waiting to be unraveled.